wow, Love Hard really does deserve all the praise that it's recently been getting, as it is such a fun new Christmas movie. Hello everybody, and welcome back to my channel, Lifestyle Critic. I hope you're having a brilliant day. So in this video we are going to be reviewing Netflix's brand new movie, Love Hard, which is a fun, light-hearted, easy to watch romantic comedy Christmas movie with Nina Dobrev from Vampire Diaries in the main lead role. Now whilst you can see a mile off where this movie is ultimately going to be heading, it is still a really funny and heartwarming movie. And I just feel like the fact that they were able to create this whole movie during COVID times alone really is a massive achievement in and of itself. But actually the movie is really, really impressive, and I'm going to be breaking it all down for you in this video review. So this film centers around its lead character, who is called Natalie, who is a dating column writer, and she documents her disastrous experiences and in turn has built a bit of a cult following and a bit of a fan base. One day she expands her dating app's radius and then meets and clicks with a character called Josh, who she has lots of long telephone call conversations with. Convinced that she's found the one, she travels all the way to New York City, as she is living in LA, to a place called Lake Placid to meet Jocelyn, where she realizes that this whole time she has actually been catfished. The film then explores all of the chaos that ensues when she actually realizes that the person that she thought she was connecting with actually really does also live in Lake Placid. Now from a positive point of view, I feel like this movie is really, really funny. All of the actors really do bring their A game, and in turn it's just such an enjoyable movie to watch. I feel like they haven't done a movie where you can really just escape and absolutely laugh from start to finish with, and this movie really does achieve that good time feel really, really well. At the same time as this, it really does have some interesting social commentary on people's insecurities and the things that they will do, and also the things that they will sacrifice as a result of this, which I think is really, really interesting. And I also think it's pretty dynamic in terms of having the actual guy that the Natalie character thought that she was falling with, both from a looks point of view being there, whilst also from a personality point of view also being there. However, from a negative point of view, like I said right in the beginning, it is a little bit predictable and you can see where things are going. But that being said, you know, the journey to get there is still really, really impressive. And whilst they do change up the formula enough, it is still a storyline narrative that you have seen a lot of times before. But you know, all that being said, from a storyline point of view, I do feel like Love Hard is actually pretty impressive. So from a cast and characters point of view, like I said, they're all really, really impressive, and they all definitely bring their A game into this movie. But that's not all. They all actually really bring their comedic edge into this film too, and it's just in turn a really enjoyable movie. And I absolutely love the fact that it's really diverse as well. So let's break down all of the main lead players in this film. Now first, of course, we have to talk about Nina Dobrev, who is just such an excellent lead, playing Natalie, the really experienced dater, yet is feeling a little bit out of water, of course, in this crazy situation. And I think her narrative is really, really great. You're really with this character from where she is in the beginning of this movie to really being desperate to try to find the one, to where she just has all of this chaotic, unexpected situations coming at her, and just seeing how she deals with it in a really humorous way is really, really impressive. And then when she thinks that she's actually found the love of her life in the tag character, the things that she will do to try to get that character, I think is really, really hilarious. We then have Jimmy O Yang, who is playing the quote-unquote nice guy, who is playing the Jocelyn character, who instantly regrets what he did to the Natalie character. But that being said, he still genuinely really likes the Natalie character, but despite that is really helping her to try and get the tag character, whilst he is also navigating his own tricky family situation, where he has a really obnoxious older brother who really overshadows everything that this character is doing. Whilst they don't excuse all of the craziness that the Jocelyn character did in terms of lying about his identity and hiding behind the tag character, they do at least explain why this character was doing all of that crazy stuff. Next up, speaking of the tag character, we have Darren Barnet, who is playing the infamous tag character, who was the person that Jocelyn was hiding behind as he was showing his pictures on his dating profile. And it's really interesting how they show that the Natalie character is thinking that Tag is perfect for her because she's really attracted to him, but in terms of her personality, the two really couldn't be any more opposite, which I think is explored really, really well in this movie. And then finally we have Harry Shum Jr., who's playing the Owen Lynn character, the older brother, the obnoxious and perfect older brother to the Josh Lynn character that really does make Josh Lynn feel really, really small. And I absolutely love just really exploring this dynamic in terms of how Josh Lynn is going to compete against his brother, and seeing at first the attempts that he does do are actually not the best way to achieve them, but actually when you really focus on your true authentic self, then that's where you can really achieve greatness. So I just feel like from a cast and characters point of view, the individual narratives are really, really great, and then their comedic performances are even better in this movie. So from a visuals point of view, even though this movie was filmed during COVID times, I feel like it definitely hasn't detracted from it looking really, really impressive. I mean, they go to loads of different locations and they do loads of really cool stuff. So for example, they sing in a karaoke bar, they go rock climbing, they go bobsledding, and all of the different locations look really, really Christmassy and really, really glossy as well. I feel like they look really, really impressive. And ultimately, it just means that you're really immersed into the world and love hard, which I think is really, really great from a visuals point of view. So from a comparison point of view, I feel like this movie is definitely well placed on Netflix, as it feels like such a Netflix movie. So for example, you can definitely compare it to The Perfect Guy, which is all about creating a bit of a persona on a digital self that is the perfect thing for what somebody else is looking for. I think you can also compare this movie to While You Were Sleeping. So, you know, whilst you were focusing on one guy, it was actually the other person that was the perfect person for you. Even though narratively it is very different, I feel like aesthetically it is very similar to Afterlife of the Party, and I feel like Victoria Justice and Nina Dobrev are always compared to one another as they look really, really similar. And also from a narrative point of view, I feel like you can definitely compare this movie to Just Say Yes, Good on Paper, and last year's Holiday as well, which definitely has a bit of a Christmassy vibe and definitely questions whether or not this person really is the right one for you. And so from a comparisons point of view overall, I really do feel like this movie is really, really impressive in having its own identity, but I definitely think you can compare it a lot to other romantic comedy movies as well. So overall, I really, really enjoyed Love Hard. Whilst narratively it isn't anything that you haven't seen before, I feel like its particular execution is actually really, really impressive. Like I said, there's some really great lessons to be learned. I feel like the performances are absolutely brilliant. It is such a good, heartwarming film to watch, especially from a comedic point of view. And I just feel like it looked really, really impressive as well. And so for all of those reasons, I'm going to give it a solid 7 out of 10. I'd love to hear what you thought, so please let me know in the comment section below. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you in my next video.